If you chaps could donate to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App, or pick up one of my books on Amazon.com in paperback or Kindle format, it would be greatly appreciated. I thank you for your support, and I hope you enjoy today's video. Coming to paperback and e-readers this April, Isis, Revenge of the Cyber Goddess. The goddess next door must take on the threat of a deadly digital diva driven to destroy the world in this action-packed all-new Isis series adventure. Get Isis, Revenge of the Cyber Goddess in paperback and e-readers this April. Recently, the British paper The Times has reported that the former Duchess of Sussex and current Duchess of Ratchetness, Meghan Markle, allegedly bullied palace staff at Buckingham Palace. Now, these allegations come days before the former Duchess of Sussex and current Duchess of Ratchetness is supposed to sit down and have an interview with Oprah Winfrey, which is supposed to broadcast on the telly. Now, when I take a critical examination of these allegations of bullying, I have to wonder if there are some racial overtones to them, because your Meghan Markle is a black woman, and possibly the palace staff might have some grievances against her due to the color of her skin and her being so close to the royal family and the King of Kings and Lord of Lords of white men. Now, that might be a grievance that the royal staff might have regarding her being a woman of color, but I also believe that there might possibly be a bit of merit as related to these claims. And the reason why I believe there might be some merit to the claims of bullying of palace staff is when I take a critical examination of the emasculation of your Prince Harry, the King of Kings and Lord of Lords of white men, and him stepping down from his position of the Duke of Sussex. I have to believe that there might be some merit to those claims, because the only reason why your Prince Harry possibly might have allowed your Duchess of Ratchetness to take his testicles and put them in the purse of her Hermes bag is because she might possibly be a bit of a battle axe. I don't know, but she might possibly be a bit of a battle axe, and that might be the reason why your Prince Harry is now residing here in the United States instead of Buckingham Palace with the royal family. Now, these allegations of bullying, again, when you look at the way your Prince Harry has been emasculated over the 2 years of this marriage, do truly have merit, because according to several reports, your Prince Harry has not been himself. He's been a shadow of a man, and he hasn't been the man he was before he married your Duchess of Ratchetness, Meghan Markle, and this might possibly be proving the points of this royal staff, which allege they were bullied by this Meghan Markle. Now, when I look at these claims, they might possibly have some merit, because we all know many American women, they have a fantasy about being a princess. They've watched many princess movies like Your Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, many of these films like A Little Mermaid, and they have this fantasy of living happily ever after and being this princess. And when your Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Ratchetness, probably went to this Buckingham Palace, she went there with those delusions of grandeur and thought that because now that she was the American princess, she would be able to go out here and follow the model that was presented to her in those movies and be able to go out here and treat staff the way American women are used to treating staff in many of these restaurants. And with your Duchess of Ratchetness going out here to, your Sizzlers and your Red Lobsters and places like that and verbally abusing staff in these places, she probably thought she could do the exact same thing here at the Royal Palace and she probably thought that she would be able to go to this royal palace with the same high maintenance mindset, thinking that she could go out here and mistreat people because they were the little people, because that's the mindset many Western American women have, not understanding that when you are a part of the royal family, there are certain rules and protocols that are part of that royal life, and your Meghan Markle probably didn't understand that part of that royal life is treating your royal staff with the greatest of respect, because she came from that westernized American culture where people who are caught up again in these princess fantasies believe that it is their right to verbally abuse and mistreat the staff. So I'm believing that your Meghan Markle, who is a bit of a feminist, thought she could come in with her strong and independent self, come into the royal palace, and because she was the strong, independent queen, she thought, oh, because I'm married to the King of Kings and Lord of Lords of white men, I will be able to treat this royal staff like the slaves on a plantation. So that was her notion as related to the royal staff, and that's probably led to many of the royal staff feeling like they were being bullied, because here we have a high-maintenance American woman coming on to a royal on the royal grounds, and as she comes on the royal grounds, she thinks that she can come on here and just treat people all sorts of ways, and she probably thought, oh, because somebody didn't put a straw in her Colt 45, then that allowed her to go out here and again verbally abuse people. Now, according to reports, they said that she wanted, again, to go out here and bombard people with emails and texts at 5 a.m. And again, that's par for the course when it comes down to your entitled American woman who has a bit of an attitude and believes that she is owed everything. And the Duchess of Ratchetness probably thought she was practically owed everything, including some, Newport cigarettes and things like that. But that's par for the course again for your American woman. I mean, they want their Newport cigarettes at 5 in the morning, and they get up in the morning and they want things a certain way, and they want the servant to go out here and give them everything that they want, because that's what they saw in many of the princess movies. And she probably came in thinking that she was going to get the royal treatment that way, not understanding that the members of the royal families are servants to the crown, and she didn't want to serve the crown. No, she wanted the crown to serve her, and that again is par for the course with your Western American woman. And I believe that this culture clash is one of the reasons why these bullying claims have merit, and why your Meghan Markle was chafing so hard against the royal family, because she wasn't looking to serve the crown. No, she was looking for the crown to serve her, and she was looking for the crown and the King of Kings and Lord of Lords of white men to elevate her to a high position in society. But when things were not going the way she wanted, that's when she went out here and might have possibly gone out and stopped bullying the staff, and then started emasculating your Prince Harry and demanding that he give up his royal crown to go and get down in America, where she could go out here and be the strong, independent black woman who went and took her man back to all the way to California, where he has become a pale shadow of his former self, and he's practically cringing in that home as this woman practically dominates him. That's what looks like happened here, and these claims, again, they might possibly have merit, because when we look at the way Prince Harry behaves, it's clear to me that he might possibly have been emasculated by your Meghan Markle, and that emasculation might be fits right into that pattern as related to the alleged claims of bullying, because when it comes down to many of your westernized females who buy into the concepts of white feminism, many of them become very bossy, and they start bullying and threatening people, and if things are not exactly the way they want, then they start to go into hissy fits and tantrums, and this can lead to people feeling very uncomfortable, very uneasy, and as a working royal, that's probably how your Duchess of Ratchetness made many of those people feel, because when she saw that her Colt 45 did not have a straw, or somebody came and brought her a St. Ides instead of a Colt 45, that's when she probably lost it, and your Meghan Markle probably wanted to go off on those people, and with her being frustrated, and her frustrations probably were one of the things that made life untenable in that royal palace, and as things got worse, that's when she saw that there was not much she could do in the royal palace because people were watching her, so she went on a campaign to pester the King of Kings and Lord of Lords of white men to go out here and take her from the royal palace where she was going to be watched and scrutinized all the way back to America, where she could emasculate the King of Kings and Lord of Lords of white men in private. And again, these claims of bullying, again, while I do see some racial undertones to these claims as related to Meghan Markle and her blackness and her chafing at that white supremacist culture of the royal family, I also see merit in those claims because when we look at the pattern of the Duchess of Ratchetness's behavior, it's clear to me that there might have been some bullying, because if your Prince Harry is a shadow of a man and he's no longer the King of Kings and Lord of Lords of white men here in America, then it's possible that this so-called queen has taken the crown and is now running this man into the ground. Not even the King of Kings and Lord of Lords of white men can handle this ratchet black woman. Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited. Isis, All That Glitters. The goddess next door takes on a bikini-clad bank robber in this action-packed, all-new Isis series adventure. Get Isis, All That Glitters in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today.